For whatever you're into, Amazon Prime offers a range of services like Prime Video, Amazon Prime Music, and Prime Fast Free Shipping. I've been using Prime Video to watch some of my favorite rock and roll documentaries. And of course, I use Prime for shopping for all kinds of things. I've got a pretty gnarly sneaker habit, so Prime comes in handy there. This is just one example of many ways that Prime can make life a little richer, from shopping to streaming to saving. It's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you are into.
And here's your prescription.
I know just the pharmacy to get this filled.
Who are you?
A pharmacy benefit manager. A middleman your insurer uses to decide which medicines you can get, what you pay, and sometimes even which pharmacy you should go to.
Why can't I go to a pharmacy in my neighborhood?
Because I make more money when you go to a pharmacy I own.
No one should stand between you and your medicine. Visit phrma.org/middleman to learn more. Paid for by Pharma.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Graham, the host of Wondery's American Scandal. Our newest series looks at Aaron Hernandez, a star football player who shocked the world with a brutal crime. But behind Hernandez's violent actions lay a much larger health crisis affecting the entire sport. Listen to American Scandal on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Happens when there's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So we were going to wrap up our week with Beverly Hills and then just be like, well, whatever. We don't, we're just wrapping it up. We're just ending with Beverly Hills. But we decided to do a bonus episode, a little bonus. But we decided right before Beverly Hills, we'll do a bonus. But the problem is, we're like, we have to talk about Southern Charm because so much is going on there. We want to check in on Miami. But the problem is with Southern Charm is that it airs after we've decided to go on vacation. But luckily, Bravo has put the first 6 minutes on its website. So we thought, let's do this. And by the way, if you are not a Patreon, this is a free bonus episode. If you're not a Patreon supporter, we highly encourage you to support on Patreon because you get bonus episodes much like this, and every week, and they take different shapes and sizes and forms. Sometimes we break down a trailer, we do a trailer trash. Sometimes we just talk about food. Sometimes we recap shows. Sometimes if there's like too many shows on Bravo, we'll recap it on the bonus episode. But the point is that we have a lot of fun on our bonus episodes, and they're every single week. We've been doing them since like 2014. And thanks to our friend Paul went in and reorganized some of our Patreon. And now, if you're looking for that stuff, it's all there. It's easy to find now. So go check out patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens and get the full bonus episode experience.
Do it. That's also where our videos are. This is a video recap as well. So which one do you want to start with? First 6 minutes of Southern Charm or Real Housewives of Miami?
Let's start with Southern Charm. I want to do Southern Charm because, I don't know, actually, is it weird to do Southern Charm first? Because that's more recappy. In Miami, we can talk about what happened. Let's start with Miami. It aired first. We should do Miami. So, Miami, hilarious. Still such a good show. I hope people are watching because it's only being eclipsed by Salt Lake City right now, if you ask me. Well, Southern Charm's really
Miami
good too, but in terms of Real Housewives.
Miami is hilarious. I feel like Miami is a very underrated city. Literally underrated as far as it doesn't have the ratings I think it should. But I don't think a lot of these shows do. I mean, Beverly Hills is very good this year. It's very fun, very funny. Kind of a return to its old school ways. And it's getting great ratings. It's doing really well. It's like 1 million or over in overnights, which is great. And these other ones really aren't. Salt Lake City is a fledgling. Miami's kind of a fledgling, being newer to being back on Bravo or whatever. But they're so good. Where are you people? Come back.
Well, Salt Lake City's last year on Salt Lake City, we enjoyed it, but the season was like a little uneven. And so I always feel like whenever there's an uneven season, the ratings for the following season are the ones that kind of suffer. But I think everyone's talking about Salt Lake City. It is the one that is on everyone's lips. Beverly Hills is just such a big show. There are a lot of people who just at some point decide they didn't want to get into new Real Housewives. They just stick with the ones they got. So they come back for Beverly Hills. So it's huge. Also, the numbers change because people watch certain shows when they air or overnight. Some people wait until they stream it later in the week. So ratings are a little. I've read before that ratings are not as much of an indicator anymore. I think that now networks care a lot about online chatter and presence and like impact in that way too. So to that end, Miami is great. And it's so funny. And so this week's episode starts off back in Palm Beach, I should say, because they're at the Aroma 360 house. And we're at a croquet club. It starts off at a croquet club. And Marisol has just gotten a Google alert about Monkey, a.k.a. Lisa Hochstein, because the news broke that Lisa has been running up $10,000 of Instacart costs per month on Lenny's tab.
I mean, they do upcharge you on the Instacart. I will say that.
They do.
Because I got an ice cream that is normally $6, which also, fuck you, ice cream industry. A little ice cream this big is $6. That's not right.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be $6, and it was like $8.50. So that's how they get you. Now, that said, how much ice cream did you get, Lisa? How much ice cream did you get?
I would like to know that. So they're all in shock. They're like, oh my God, like she ran up like $10,000. And then they're also kind of like in shock with her whole story about how she called the cops on Lenny and then the cops came and then there was this big fight and the kids were right there. And then like 2 seconds later, Lisa showed up at Julia's event and they're like, that's kind of wild that she didn't stay at the house after this sort of traumatic night for the kids.
So Alexia's like, I mean, listen, like, I get it. Like, you want your man to pay for things, but like, you know, like my guy should at least pay for my car. But like, he's like accusing her of planting listening devices in the car. So like, if Jody is so great, then Jody should just lease her a car. Like, why not? And Gertie goes, yeah, like it doesn't have to be even a nice car. Like, get her a Corolla or something. And Alexi goes, what's that? What is that? Is that a car?
What? A Corolla? What? Like Adam Corolla? Like you can just like rent him? Like Owalino Peter? Like what is
car? And she talks about how she's never had to buy a car because someone's always bought her a car. So then she just laughs. I'm like, oh God, this is not going to go well, this episode. Because this is the episode where they're basically all like, yeah, we're sick of listening to Lisa. We have to tell her 20 different times how we're sick of listening to her. And they kind of do it, but which makes Lisa look more like a victim because it really does look like they're attacking this poor woman who's going through hell. But then Lisa turns it around at the end where you're kind of like, oh, God, so you didn't listen to anything they said then, huh? Like, oh.
Yeah, well, because basically they tell Lisa, they basically, when they're sitting at croquet, they're like, okay, we've all tried to tell Lisa that, like, you know, she needs to get over Lenny. Like, the kids this is bad for the kids. You should be prioritizing the kids right now. We've all tried to have a conversation with her. They're like, Julia, you haven't talked to Lisa about this yet. You can do it. She's like, yes, I can do it. I will bring goat. They're like, okay, good. That'll work. That'll be really good. You can really share it.
Yeah, because basically the thing is, they're like, I mean, it was nice that Lisa came to your opera thing. She's like, yeah, it was nice she came to opera thing, but at the same time, you have children at home and you just called cops. And aren't children scared? Ghosts come first. Children come second. Opera comes third.
What am I saying? Goat first, goat second, go third. So then they play croquet, and they're, of course, all wild. And Kiki, like, scores a point. She's like, I scored a point! And she starts running around. Her boob comes out. And, of course, everyone's, like, scandalized because it's just, like, these old guys at this club. They're like, this is the best croquet club in the entire world. He, like, literally pretty much says that. He's like, you'll never find any more refined club than this. And I don't know.
That old guy just came to like give them the lessons. He's like, "This is the finest croquet club in the world." Like, oh my God, you got something on your titty. Like, what is that? Let me see.
They're like, "Welcome to the best croquet course you've ever seen." And Alexia's like, "Oh, well, I spilled balsamic on my titty. Oh, well, is it balsamic? Like, I knew I shouldn't have had the salad. I had the salad, and now I've got balsamic in my bus." They're like not even paying attention.
So then Alexia and Marisol walk off and have a conversation about Julia because Julia had just said in the last episode, she accused Marisol of hiring private investigators, which I totally believe, and following everybody around and following Nicole's husband to the mall. It wasn't to the mall. It was a restaurant called A Mall, by the way. We did. We were just thinking it was, oh my God, he had an office party at the mall? What the hell?
Florida,
was it a Cinnabon? Like, what was happening?
There are a lot of nice restaurants and malls, I thought, okay, sure.
Well, thank you, listener, for telling us that it was not the mall. It was A Mall, the restaurant.
By the way, don't name your restaurant. I know a mall. It's like Amal Clooney or something. Like, I know that the Amal means something else, probably whatever it means. But also, like, don't get mad.
It's Lebanese. It's a Lebanese restaurant, I heard, yeah.
Oh. Well, still, like, it's an honest mistake on our part.
Wait, is it? Yeah, well, in Toronto, Amal is a modern Lebanese culinary experience. Photographers allowed. So Marisol's pissed because she's just been accused of all of this stuff. And Alexia's like, no, she didn't mean it like that. We're friends right now. I'm going to use her as a weapon. So please don't start fights with her. And Marisol's like, I don't appreciate you not sticking up for me. Well, Julia, I mean, bro. What kind of bro are you, bro?
It wasn't that bad. You have to, like, get over it. I didn't think it was bad. It wasn't bad. You have to get over it.
¿Dónde está
okay, now you're being like Lisa. Now you're being like Lisa. You not even listening. You have to, like, get over it. You're being stupid right now. You're not a full-fledged cast member, so you have to listen to what I say. Okay, you have to stop. You have to stop.
God, por favor, escúchame. This is ridiculous. Listen, I need you to be my friend. I don't think you're on my side. I mean, what side are you on? I'm over here, you're over there. Like, boom, boom, boom. What is this, pickleball? We're on different sides of the court.
Like I said to Todd, I absolutely do not play both sides. I only play for one team. Just reiterating that.
I'm really not happy with bro right now. She said that. I started cracking up. These people are so silly. And now she's correct, though.
Marisol is right.
Someone being her best friend, Alexia is really not standing up for her. And how often am I on Marisol's side? Never. It's extremely rare, but I think she's got a point here.
Yeah, Alexia's like, basically like, oh, you're being silly. Get over it. Get over it. When you know if it was Alexia, if it was the other way around, which I think Marisol said at one point, Alexia would be having a conniption fit.
Okay, so then what happens? So then they all go to dinner, and Julia and Alexia go to the bar and have a little talk about the gay thing. Like, she's like, why? Tell me truth. You tell me truth, Pinky. I tell you truth, Pinky.
Oh, yeah,
and then we make Pinky's lock, and then Pinky's are locked, and then God says, let me out. You are locking me inside. And we say, oh, my God, God. We open Pinky. God runs free. We hug like babies. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. No, that's totally, yeah, sure. So, like, yeah, you can tell me anything and I'll be totally cool about it. Yeah, just tell me whatever. No problem. I'll be totally cool.
Okay, you remember when I said we can sleep in the same bed and you said I need to ask Todd? Oh my God, Alexia just started scratching her head and like pulling her hair and then scratching her face. She literally at one point started patting down her eyebrows.
She's like, oh, that was just like a joke. That was like a haha joke. Oh, when you're a star, you come up with jokes. Like, that's what you do. Like, you're a born star, born jokester. It's like a joke. Comedy. Like, I make like Peter laugh all the time. And like, I like Todd. Todd's like, you should go on tour. You should be like, I was like, it's nothing.
So funny, like visibly uncomfortable. Like, what? It wasn't because you were like gay. Like, listen, I wish we could all be lesbians. Blink, 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 blink. Spanish blink, Spanish blink.
I don't even see you that way.
And she goes,
Well, because some people, they say, oh, you sleep in the same bed with gay people are deviants.
and she's like, I don't, no,
No.
I'm just saying, like, that would be disgusting, am I right? But, like, like, I love you. That's like,
But like, I don't think you're
that's like
disgusting.
it.
Like when I look at you, I don't think you're like a disgusting, depraved human being who like sleeps with people that they shouldn't be sleeping with. I just think of you as like really nice girl with goat. That's all. It's nice.
So they make, Julia's like, whatever. She seems to have gotten the message. I'm not going to push it. She's like about to pull out her own hair. So I'm gonna leave that. So Lisa joins the table, and she's like,
Oh, guys, I got news. Unfortunately, I didn't love the Hochstein scent. It's not ready for me yet. But like a true businesswoman, I will persevere until the right smell comes to my nose.
Yeah, we'll be waiting with bated breath for that perfect Lisa Hochstein smell. The
I
scent.
will not be happy until I smell me a butterfly.
And it smells like $10,000 of Instacart groceries. Lots of paper bags.
Stay tuned for my scent. Lenny!
So they're like, okay, well, Julia, go for it. So Julia's like,
Okay, so yes. Remember when I had party? I sing opera. Oh, and so you called police, and that's terrible. Terrible. You have to call police.
It was terrible, Lenny.
And you had children, and you let the children. We like to put the children first. Always children first. Always children first. Anyone want to help me out here, Alexa? Can you help me out here just a little bit? I'm a little scared right now. Okay.
listen, all we're saying, well, first everybody's like, oh my God, she's bungling this, right? Like we all wanted Julia to say something and she's totally fucking it up. So then Alexia tries to help her, but guess what? Has Alexia ever made anything better? No. Okay. The show, yes, but anything else, no, she has not. So she's like, okay, listen, here's what we're saying. You're a terrible mother, and you need to be a better mother because it's embarrassing. Okay. In different ways, they say that. They're like, why are you calling the why are you calling the cops to your house and then leaving to go to an opera party? And Lisa's like, okay. And they're like, and what about this Jody guy? And then Kiki's like, I don't even know Jody. What the fuck is with this guy? I don't know him. And they're like, are you sure you're not jumping into this? And should you get a job? And maybe you shouldn't be relying on another man's money.
and maybe
Like,
don't
you're
go
going from
into. And she's like, well, first of all, the kids were asleep, so I could go to the opera party. Second of all, of course, I'm not going to just move in, go from man to man. I'm going to go to a condo for about a week, and then the next place, which is with Jody. So I think that clarifies certain things. And another thing, I'm just like curious about something here. Last night, you said I was talking about Lenny too much. Tonight, all you want to hear about is Lenny. So which one is it?
She's got a point. Okay, she's got a point. So they're like, no, we're just saying, all this drama with Lenny, you're letting it get to you too much, and you need to concentrate on you. But they're just all coming at her at one time. Now, I have to say, Lisa was pretty impressive here because I feel like any other show, I was expecting her to just start crying and be like,
How dare you come for me when I'm going through this? Lenny, look at my kids. Look at my...
I was expecting this huge thing, and she wasn't at all. She stayed really calm, and she's like, okay, thanks so much for the advice, but this is my life.
But then someone asked her, I forget who it was, maybe it was Alexia, was like, so like when we drove here, like, did you drive Lenny's car? She's like, yeah, well, did you drive Todd's car? And then Alexia's like, oh, well, but like Todd's like, not like, I'm in a good place with Todd. Like, he's not trying to sue me, but like Lenny's trying to sue you. So why are you driving his car? And so then Adriana's like, but it was married property. Like they got the car when she was married. And Lisa's like, this wasn't even the car that had the listening device put into it, they say. I mean, so allegedly.
It was so funny because Alexia's argument is like, well, Todd's not accusing me of putting a listening device in the car. So it's not the same thing. And it's like,
Oh, that was a different car. Whatever.
They're just like coming at her really hard. And then Alexia at one point was like, okay, so like when I met Todd, like I was still dealing with like Hernan's estate. And like basically I lost. And Todd's like, I'm not going to let you and I was going to appeal it. And Todd's like, no, you can't appeal. I'm not going to let you do that. So I didn't appeal. What I'm trying to say is you're probably going to lose this. So you should probably just like move forward because you're going to lose.
Well, and she's saying Todd came to the point where I was going to relitigate it. Like I lost, I was going to, appeal or whatever. And Todd said, if you do this, I'm fucking done with you. I'm sick of our life being around this other guy who's not even here anymore, And so she's like, you've got to drop it. But she's just saying it and like, she's trying to get her point across, but she's failing. And so she's getting more and more intense.
It's better just
Lisa's getting, just like.
Lisa's not getting it because Alexia's basically saying it's better just to move on than to be right. Like, you're right. Focus on the future. And Lisa's like, yeah, well, every divorce is different, and mine's more different because mine's more famous. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't apply to me. They're like, okay, all right. Haven't taken any lessons. Great.
And then she's like,
I mean, listen, like, I just like Jody because I don't want to start dating. I'm not going to go on the dating scene. Like me, I don't even like to go out. I just like to be in Netflix at home with a guy, and I got one.
Which, first of all, how flattering is that to Jody? Like, Jody's there, and he has a Netflix account. So that's why we're together. But also, they call bullshit. They're like, you don't go out? Since when don't you go out? Of all people.
Monkey loves going out. Monkey not going out. Monkey goes out. So I think they realize they bungled it and they're not going to get anywhere anytime soon. So they start saying things like, we just want to show we care. Why don't we do a group hug? Group hug, Lisa. And then just all gather around her and hug her to be like, pretend we never said anything tonight. Okay.
But then Kiki sits back down and goes, I just don't even know about Jody, though. I'm like, oh my God.
But and Lisa's like, I wish I was an octopus so I could just go, what ya?
And then they do like a visual with her with 8 arms, which was terrifying.
Yes. And most importantly, in this, the Corolla gets brought up again, but not before when they're talking about the cars. Because I think was this Gertie I know Gertie asked a question, but was Gertie's question, did Jody buy you a car, right? Or something like that? And
no, they were like, no, you need to stop driving your husband's car or whatever. And then someone goes, what is she supposed to do? Just get a Kia or something?
Kiki goes, a Kia? Ugh. Someone says, what about a Corolla? It's like,
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
It's almost that magical time of year.
Speaking of, what's your favorite Christmas story, Ben?
Hands down, The Grinch.
Same.
It cracks me up that he hates all the merriment.
Right, and he steals everyone's presents.
But then it's like so heartwarming at the end when like the whole town is still singing and he realizes that there's more to Christmas than just gifts.
Oh, I know. It hits me right in the feels.
Best part is, Wondery has a new podcast starring The Grinch. And I think there's someone who wants to tell you more about it, Ronnie.
Hi, it's me, the Grand Poobah of Bah Humbug, the OG Green Grump, the Grinch. From Wondery, Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show is a pathetic attempt by the people of Whoville to use my situation as a teachable moment. So join me, the Grinch. Listen as I launch a campaign against Christmas cheer, grilling celebrity guests like chestnuts on an open fire. Your family will love the show. As you know, I'm famously great with kids. Follow Tis the Grinch Holiday Talk Show on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So, okay, so then we go to, they're back in Miami now. So the trip is over, and we go back just to kind of normal life. We have a scene with Nicole and her dad, which is sad because her father passes away later in the season, which happens in both shows, by the way, because in Southern Charm that we're talking about in the next segment, Taylor's brother passes away later in the season, and they bring him up. So it's...
Right. I think actually Nicole's dad only died about a month ago. So I don't think it's even going to be on the show. But it was what made this sort of heartbreaking was they meet up, and it's a fun scene. It's a sweet scene because we see their rapport is much better. And he's talking about I don't know what his cause of death was, but he was talking about that he's having some issue with peeing. He's peeing a lot, and Nicole's like, "Is it your prostate?" And then the music gets very serious, which makes me think that I wonder if that was related to it. I'm not sure. Not trying to make a thing out of it, but then basically he's talking about how he wants to have more kids, and he's saying they're just saying. She's like, are you sure you want to bring more kids in this world because you don't know how much time you have left? So when she says that, sort of, my heart broke a little bit because I don't know if she was able to even watch the scene, but it probably was difficult for her to see it.
Yeah, and the scene was really, really funny. I mean, their chemistry is so funny. So intense. Like, she's supposed to be meeting his young, like 20-year-old girlfriend or whatever, and the girl Isis, and the girlfriend doesn't show up, and so Nicole's like, "What the hell, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, listen, she can't come because sciatica or something, And she's like, "Sciatica? Can a 20-year-old even get sciatica?" And he's like, "I'm going to have another kid." And she's like, "What?" And he goes, 2. I want 2 kids. And she goes, "How many do you have? You've got 6 kids." He goes, "I've got 8 kids." She's like, "What? There's like kids I don't even know about?"
And then this scene
falling from the sky. She goes, "Who are they?" And he's like, "Well, there's Teresa, there's John, there's Lou. There's Ricardo, there's Jonathan." He just keeps naming people. She's like, "Wait a minute, how many kids are those?"
But the thing is, they can't say all their names because there's like so many kids. Like some of them are like 7 or 8 years old, and as they mention them, they're like, "Well, I know about and I know about and I know. Well, what about and I know about? Well, don't forget about and the but what about but I haven't spoken to and forever." And it's just like all totally bleeped out all these names.
She's like, "Oh my God, like I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm his dad too. He was a good kid. We don't talk that much."
Yeah. So, but like sad with the foreshadowing, and they gave also a nice little, like a little card at the end of the show saying "in loving memory," which was nice.
Yeah, but this was actually a really nice scene, and it was nice to see her getting along with him, and also just the acceptance of being like, "Oh my God, this guy's a fucking mess," and just laughing with him, It was nice. I'm glad they got that before he passed. So or she got that. Did I say she got that or he? I'm glad they both got that before he passed. So then we get, so like we said before, we just saw Lisa really hold herself well, I think, with all the ladies when they were coming at her. And we're like, "Oh my God, Lisa's on such a good path now." And then she takes her kids to dance class. Oh my God, why, Lisa?
So they go to dance class, and the kids are learning like position 1 and position 2 and elevee and releve and bileve and da-da-da-da and arabesque and, black swan. So when this all happens, so Adriana calls, because guess what? There's been yet another Lenny crisis. Lenny has now filed a motion, the worst motion yet, which is that he wants to have 100% custody of the kids.
And my thing is saying, like, why Lisa, is because she's in the dance room. She's in the ballet room. It's like, "Oh my God, Adriana, you won't believe what he did. He's trying to take my kids from me." And it's like, "Oh my God, Lisa, go into the hallway at least, Like they were just telling you, leave the kids, and you're like standing right in there. Oh my God. It's like, everything she's going through, and you want to root, we do root for Lisa, but it's like, "Lisa, no." So Adriana comes in her hot ass car. This isn't the same car she bought that season, right?
Maybe
a Porsche?
like last season. I don't know. She loves vintage cars, vintage sports cars. So she shows up in this car. So then Lisa comes out and they have this conversation in the sports car where Lisa's basically crying and is like, "This guy is like a monster." And Adriana and the women all came around and they were coming at me at the dinner party. And Adriana's like, "Don't forget, he's the one who left you for a 23-year-old or a 25-year-old. He's the one who's wrong here, not you."
Well, she says that the reason he's coming at her in this lawsuit is he's claiming that she's doing drugs and that she was overheard saying that she wanted legal drugs like Adderall and Klonopin, which, by the way, who hasn't been overheard saying they want Adderall and Klonopin?
Exactly.
Like, welcome to America. But he's using that, and she's saying that he's going to try to use that to take her kids. And it is heartbreaking because she's like, "Oh my God, I have nobody. I don't have my family here. Who does that?" And So she gets a little pep talk, and then at the end of the scene, I'm like, okay, now it's dark. Where are your kids?
They're still stuck in position 2. They've just been pirouetting.
The scene about like, but I am a good parent. You're like, yes, Lisa, you are. It's like, wait a minute, it's been 5 hours. Where are the children? They're having like martinis, you know?
Right. The kids are now like, they're doing the Nutcracker. They've been in that ballet class so long. They've been hired by Sutton Strack to join ABT. Yeah. So that was that episode. That's kind of like a very brief overview, but it was a hilarious episode. And if people are not watching the show, they should be. So now Southern Charm. So Southern Charm, great season. Loving this season. So Bravo put up the first 6 minutes, and where we left off on they're in Jamaica, and they're at this big group dinner. Shep and Austin just got into this really big shouting match up in Whitney's presidential suite. Austin was just a total twat to Madison, where he's like, just a bored housewife. So she's pissed at him. So there's big group dinner is happening on the heels of this acrimony. And Taylor has now just stood up because she wants to put everything to rest for once. She wants everyone to shut up. And so she's going to address this with the group last time.
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to finally tell everybody what's been going on. It's like, dun, 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 ba-ba-doo. So everybody's like, oh my God, what is Taylor going to say? She's going to say a bunch of nothing. We already know that Taylor, it's
no
Taylor.
accountability.
She's going to say fucking nothing. So now she's standing up at the dinner table, and we know that she is a fan ultimately of this show because she's doing mayor hands. And I have to say, her and Olivia are both doing mayor hands during this whole scene. Hers are holding her. She's kind of doing the Heather hands from Real Housewives of Orange County, like the holding tiny little sticks. Yeah, little baby claws. Like, it's like a claw machine trying to pick up something very small like this. So she's doing that, moving them around a lot. And Olivia has her own little mayor hands going. So they're fans. But ultimately, she stands up and she's like, I don't know. I've apologized. I don't know what else to give. There was never an extensive anything going on between us. That's it. I'm done.
Not that she's the one. She shouldn't be she's not the one who gets to say she's done, but she's going to say, I'm done. What happened is what happened. And Max goes, what happened? And Taylor goes, it was a kiss. It was a kiss. And Shep goes, hey, Tay, don't get bogged down on the details. Go, go, go. Do as I said. Remember when I coached you? Go do that.
And Austin's like, I agree. Shut the fuck up, Austin. Okay, with your I agree. You don't get to have an agreement here. You be quiet. Now, that said, I'm going to flip-flop a lot in this conversation because everybody's on my nerves at this damn point. But Taylor does have a right to tell everybody to shut the fuck up. How many times are they going to have this argument on whether or not she fucked Austin? Just because Page 6 says that they heard that they hooked up doesn't mean that they did. It's the same gossip you guys have been fighting about all season. I don't understand why it's such a big different thing now just because of Page 6. Now, I get that it's because Taylor, like I said, I'm flip-flopping. The Page 6 article came out and Taylor didn't go to Olivia and say like, oh my God, this article came out. I just want you to know it's still not true. Just because Page 6 says it doesn't mean that it's suddenly true. But at the same time, Olivia's been really shitty to her, rightly so, and ignoring her. So why would she run to Olivia?
Well, I mean, what I meant by that was more like, yeah, I mean, people should stay out of it. Like people like who needs Craig weighing in or Shep? Well, I guess Shep can weigh in because he's affected to some degree. But but the problem with Taylor is that like she has given these shitty apologies all season. And one of those apologies was a lie. She has 2 lies and 2 big lies this season. She keeps saying I had 1 lie, but she had 2 lies. The first lie was that she did anything with him, and the second lie was that it was like that they kissed or whatever. And then the or that it was like more. Who cares? But she gave a shitty apology to Olivia that clearly did not get through. She was not able to take accountability. She's been told she hasn't been able to take accountability. And now she just wants Olivia to get over it. And it's not up to Taylor to tell the person that she hurt the time frame for them to get over it. So it just never works. When people do the whole, I've apologized 4 times now. How many more times do I have to do it? Like, anytime you're saying that, that means that your apologies have been shit. So, like, just be the quantity, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And if you ever in life say, I just keep on having to apologize, usually you keep on having to apologize because you're not good at it. Or maybe the person that you allegedly care about is really hurt and they just need some reassurance. And if you cared about them, you would be humble enough to be able to do this simple thing to help get your friendship back on order.
Right, I get that. I think that you're right. There's a part of me that just hears squirting and like echoing into a tin cylinder. I just hear milking. You know what I mean? I feel like Olivia is just, at this point, she's just fucking milking. Enough. Like, I get it. Okay? We all get it. And why do you need to wait until a dinner scene, until everybody's there to start this shit? You were just sitting alone with her for how long? 10 minutes, 20 minutes while you guys were waiting for everybody else to show up, but you had to wait for everybody else to show up at the dinner to have this. You're milking, okay?
I don't know. I don't think she's milking. I'm going to say I don't think she's milking. Now, I hate to be the one, the big Debbie Downer on this. I think that Olivia, first of all, is also, as was mentioned by people on that bus, she is in like a very emotionally sensitive place in her life. And I feel like that really is a big, big impact on that. But also, like, I mean, because my normal instinct is to say, like you say, you know what, I really like this girl. She fucked up, but you know what, though, we're going to move on. But the problem has really been that I think that Olivia was at that place and that Taylor just has not been able to just give like a proper, like, you know what, it was really bad. I should have come to you. I didn't come to you. By the way, Austin said I should keep it secret, so I was just trying to honor him too. And, you know, throw Austin under the bus a little bit, Taylor. But she just wasn't able to do it. And then, of course, like, okay, like her brother died. And her brother died kind of in that, at that formative moment when they could have been getting everything back on track. And so then they don't have that moment. Olivia has bigger things. She's more sensitive. So I don't know. I don't really think she's milking it. I think she's just exasperated by Taylor.
Milking it. I think she's full of shit at this point. Like, I'm tired of it. So, but I don't disagree with you. I think that you're right. I just like Taylor Armstrong enough at this point for me. So then Olivia, Shep's like, don't get bogged down in details. Now, while I'm at it, you shut the fuck up too, pineapple shirt. Okay, no one's talking to you. Bad shirt. Right. Be quiet over there. And Austin's like, yeah, I agreed. So Olivia goes, no, it's not being bogged down in details, okay? It's not about being bogged down in details, Shep. And Taylor's like, please, dear God, can we put this to rest? Okay? I put a lot of exclamation points in Taylor's sentence, but she doesn't really use those.
No, she doesn't. Olivia goes,
she's very robotic. She's like, everybody, I have had enough of this. I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
And Olivia's like, don't act like it's something that needs to be put to rest because I'm reacting and I'm mad and angry. And I'm so sorry, Shep, that your kumbaya moment doesn't fit in here. And if that's your journey and you want to be kumbaya, then pop off on someone later. I am happy for you. And Shep's like, I just yelled at Austin. I'm yelling at Austin. I'm not kumbaya.
It's a great point. You know, she's not always wrong. I'm not saying she's always wrong. So Seth's like, I've never taken your right to react away from you. I would never do that. So Olivia's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, Taylor, you lied to me. She's like, but I owned it. I owned it after I didn't own it and went to that breakfast with you where I completely lied to your face again. And then Austin told you behind my back after making me promise that I wouldn't tell you. I owned it. Then I didn't get in touch with you, but I waited until everybody was at the pheasant dinner and then tried to apologize last minute. I owned it.
Yeah. And Olivia's like, so don't act like you're tired of talking about it then. And Taylor's like, well, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, which is a really great way to bury the hatchet if you say take it or leave it. Okay. And so then Shep's like, no, Taylor, gosh, don't say that. You can't say that. She goes, I have nothing left to give. It is my fourth fucking apology. And she does not want it. And Vanita's like, oh, wow. She put a clap behind that. Wow.
Wow, she gave it the clap. It's like a male member of this cast. Nice job. But also, you didn't apologize. So you're saying your fourth apologize, but you're not apologizing. So
now, by the way, if it's any consolation to you, where I think Olivia has been really wrong in this is that I feel like she has been way harder on Taylor than she has been on Austin, and she is harsh on Austin in this scene, but by and large, she like I've said this all season, it really bothers me that because she expects more of Taylor, she therefore punishes Taylor greater, but she has fewer expectations of Austin, so therefore he gets off the hook. But the person who really deserves to be punished is Austin more greatly, given that they both deserve some sort of punishment or consequences. It bothers me that I feel like this is how Austin gets by in life, and that's how he fails upwards, is that people have low expectations of him, so when he fucks up, they're like, well, it's Austin. We knew it was going to happen. And it's just like, it's bullshit, because that's how people like this go ahead, that they can actually act poorly. Someone else has a much worse punishment for it, and he goes on with his life, and everything works out fine.
Olivia
I don't like
has
that.
called Austin an idiot and a motherfucker 9 million times. Like, she does go at Austin all the time. I think that she does make Austin pay for it. Austin just doesn't care. It's like, I don't care. I'll just keep lying and then going, well, you're insane right now. You're insane right now. Like, I don't even go. I don't think she's punishing Taylor more. I just think that Taylor's more affected by it. And so she starts this whole like, what? But I already apologized. Whereas Austin's just like, you're insane. I'm not going to talk about, but then they also get the flirty thing. He's also confusing her because
Olivia's
she
watching
goes
movies
from
at his house.
furious with him. She goes from being furious with him to him like worming his way back in there and using her brother's death and all of this other stuff to worm his way back in and then rebond with her. So then they start the flirty thing again, and then she realizes that he was full of shit again, and then she gets furious with him again. So there's more of like a break in between of when she's furious with him, but she lets him have it all the time, I think.
But I guarantee she lets him have it, but I guarantee that her relationship with Taylor, I mean, I don't know where it is right now, but right now it appears to be inalterably like that is a relationship that is severed. Whereas Austin, she's angry at Austin, but the relationship will then continue on as friends.
But if you fucked me over, it would be very different than if like some guy I dated or was fucked me over. I would care more if you know what I mean? Like,
no, I understand why. Like, I understand the logic. I understand why, but ultimately the outcome of those situations is that like the person, like the betrayal hurts more because you're more invested in like your closer friend. The betrayal hurts more, but in some ways then like maybe the forgiveness is owed more too, right? Like as opposed to the shitty person who it doesn't cut as deep, but then they're still they just get to their lesson, their takeaway from it is that I can just continue being shitty to people. And like, I still get to reap the rewards in life and in society. Whereas, you know, it's like, I get it. I understand. I'm not like an idiot. Like, I'm not saying you're saying that. But I'm like, I understand how life works. I understand how life works. I understand why the betrayal is so hard. I'm just saying it sucks. It sucks that the way that humans interact, that people like Austin basically just wind up with ultimately an emotional slap on the hands, on the wrists, and on the hands, everywhere. Just like a light slap.
Well, like we said in the recap of Beverly Hills, you can't shame the shameless. Like you can yell at somebody all you want to, but he does not care. He's just somebody who does not fucking care. Because at the end of the day, he still has tall privilege. And that's really all he needs.
Yeah, just look at JT.
He's a tall, failing upwards white man. Does it matter that he never closes his mouth or chews with his mouth closed and splurts food and spit all over everybody? No, doesn't matter. He's 7 feet tall. Okay, he wins. He can cheat on you. He can steal your car. He can start your house on fire. He wins. He's tall.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So then Shep is like, okay, Taylor, just sit down and relax. She goes, I mean, do you want me to say that he fucked me? Do you want? And everyone's like, yes, say it. Matt's like, yes, come on, tell us about that beta. And Olivia's like, yes, because that's what happened. And Taylor's like, so now you want me to lie? You want me to lie?
Well, if he has called Austin an idiot and a motherfucker 9 million times, I think that he deserves to be punished. But I think that Taylor is more affected by it. And so she starts this whole like, what? But I already apologized. So you're saying Oh, God. So you have no problem lying before. You spent
why didn't
half of
someone
the
say it?
season lying.
Wouldn't
So
be the
why are
first
you
time.
screaming that you cannot lie and you absolutely cannot lie? Please stop with that. And also goes, it is not what happened. It's not what happened. Okay. That is not what we did not have sex in. Okay. And Olivia's like, but if you guys had been honest from the start, this would not have happened. It would not have. Taylor's like, but it's not what happened. That is enough.
Austin's like, Taylor and I did not have sex. Which, by the way, thank you, Austin, for like at least putting a modicum of energy into like participating in this, because Taylor's taking all the heat and he's just sitting there. And now he's finally saying something. You know, I feel like a real quote unquote gentleman would have said, you know, you guys are giving Taylor a lot of shit. And like this has to stop.
Sound like
She's
JT.
like, you guys, but I think he would. But like honestly,
be a gentleman. I'm calling mommy.
But considering that's the code of the show, like if Austin should have been that person to stand up and say, "You guys, I'm sick of it. Taylor has taken all this shit from you guys. She said the truth." And it seems like no
set
one
her up to take all this shit. Why would he say anything?
Of course he wouldn't say this. I'm saying this if he were the quote unquote gentleman that he claims that he wants to be or whatever. He goes to therapy and he's like, wow, I can't seem to have any success. Wow, people, it's always my fault. Da, 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 da. And then here's a moment where he could actually do something sort of selfless and helpful. And he just sits there.
He started it all. He would never do that. He started all of this. He's been doing it from the very beginning. And he's
the one
only
who
going to
guilted her into being
performative
quiet.
therapy. Yeah,
he's the one who guilted Taylor into keep this quiet. Now Taylor's her own person. She can think for herself. She is not an innocent victim in this. But I do think that she's but the point, yeah. But that's the point, is that she is very obviously influenced by these men in her life, and Austin was like, can't tell anyone, and then he's the one who outs it. By the way, like this guy's so shitty.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you expect him to stand up and say? And I know you're not saying you actually expect him to. I'm just saying like he would never be like, guys, why are you being mean to the girl? But also, just on the flip side, Taylor is the one standing up at dinner being like, I've had it. That's why they're like, shut the fuck up, Taylor. And then in a minute, when Austin does it, they start yelling at him. You know, it's like, that's what's cracking me up about this whole episode. First of all, they're all fucking wasted. They're all cross-eyed wasted. So their arguments are just silly anyway. They're just like doing that repeat over and over, this argument over and over again. Second, they are doing kind of the Salt Lake City thing where it's community theater, because you've got both Olivia and Taylor who are very new and still learning how to reality TV act. And so they're just both very like, I'm going to say this thing again. And then Taylor's like, no, I'm standing up now. And then she gets mad and walks off. And then Austin's like, I'm going to stand up now. And they literally stand up and do like center stage, like they're at an open mic. You know, I mean, it's just, it's beautiful. It's like community theater, Southern charm, B string, trying it out.
So Taylor is like, she's like, I'm not going to claim that somebody fucked me without them actually fucking me. And Austin's like, and if you can't deal with that, then I don't even know what to say to you. And Madison goes, dude, are you guys going to stop fucking attacking her? Because it's not her problem. Wait, what? Oh, Olivia. She's saying that about Olivia because Austin and Taylor just said those two things to Olivia, and Matt's like, stop attacking Olivia. And then Austin goes, hush, hush, which is so fucking condescending.
Shut the fuck up, baby, with the Becky hair, okay? I do respect you, Taylor, for standing up finally at the table and literally talking about everything we're all assuming, because Austin will not do it. Where is
Madison, I quite literally don't give a shit about anything you think about me. Quite literally, Madison.
Yeah, but you don't give a shit about anybody.
She did like a growl.
Yeah. Hush. He's so condescending to her. And JT goes, hey, you just told her to hush. What is she? Your child? Is she your like little baby fish on your fishing line that you tried to catch, but the real pretty fish was still on the other fishing line? You didn't treat it like the queen fish that she is. You need to stand up. I'm serious, bro. You need to stand up.
Yeah, and you need to get off your knees. I'm not on my knees. My bad.
JT, man, And Madison's like,
okay, you know what? You're just walking around like a fucking sloppy mess.
Yeah.
Of course, which Austin's like, well, you are a sloppy mess, Madison. Ugh.
So Vanita just kind of like smacks him with her napkin. She's like, stop. Don't do that. So Craig's like,
Okay, let me say, Taylor, Shep, and Olivia, I think we're both freaked out because you guys talked to your family about it.
it's just just my brother. And he's like, yeah, that's part of it. These two are such bad. They're so bad at lying, Taylor.
Yeah.
Both Taylor and Austin. He goes, yeah, that's part of it. She goes, Olivia goes, yeah, that's the part that just doesn't make sense to me. You guys were like talking to your family. He goes, I didn't. I just talked to my sister. She goes, okay, well, that's family, right?
So Taylor goes, I had a moment, like, who did I go to? My confidant, my brother. I love and adore him as I know you love and adore your brother. And Olivia's like,
oh my God.
And everyone's like, no, Taylor. Taylor's so bad at this. So bad. I think we all know what Taylor was trying to say, but it's just like, you just don't invoke Olivia's brother, especially not as evidence, like to support your argument in this stupid ass fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Taylor is completely wrong on everything. I don't think that she meant it like, I love my brother and your brother's dead. Like, I don't think she meant it in a hateful way, obviously. I don't think. But just stupid. It was like stupid.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah. The point is, you called your brother about it because you were so conflicted about it, which means that Austin really meant something to you about it. That's why they're saying it's weird that you guys talk to your family. So to come back with the argument, well, yeah, I talked to him because he's my confidant, and that's who I talk to when things are really emotional. Then what kind of argument is that? You're making her point for her. So Taylor's just so dumb beyond what she just said. But then to just invoke the dead brother. Oh,
it's so bad. And Olivia tells us that, like, you know, before all this stuff, she would generally think that Taylor did not mean it how it came out. But now, like, Taylor has crossed the line and is not going to be able to come back from saying that. So then Taylor starts doing the whole, Olivia, but this is the first time I've crossed your breach of trust. Don't I get a do-over? She doesn't say the do-over part, but that's basically what she's saying. Like, that's only one time. I only got one traffic ticket. I mean, it's literally the same argument as Lucia on Southern Hospitality. And Vanita's like, don't act like this is a small thing, like some small thing.
And Taylor's like, I've never had a friend tell me they hate me. She goes, I've never had a friend who's lied to me as much as you lied to me. She's like, but I only lied to you one time. She goes, what kind of scoreboard do you freaking have? Which is true. You did not just lie to her one time. You lied to her every fucking time you hung out and listened to her complain or talk about Austin and her feelings, and you pretended you never had anything. I mean, come on, Taylor. I mean, Jesus.
Taylor has the easiest task right now, and the fact that she keeps failing and failing and failing at it, like, she just, it's so, like, this really should have already been, like, done and dusted, like, but it just keeps on, Taylor just can't do it, and it's just more and more irritating every time.
She sucks. And also, I think she gets this a lot from Shep, because she's been with Shep for so long. And talk about someone who never takes a fucking accountability for anything. I think she literally is just
this should have been her victory lap season. This should have been like, I'm liberated from Shep, and I'm single, and I'm going to have fun. I'll sleep with Shep because I'm empowered and I'm entitled to a booty call, but I'm also going to date guys. But this has just been like it's been such a sad descent for her. So she says, listen, I have never had a friend treat me this way. You're calling me a liar. You'll never believe me, and that you hate me. You said all those things. Olivia's like, yeah, it's all true. And Taylor goes, the word hate is so strong, Olivia. Using that word hate, it's so strong.
And she goes, yeah, that's why I used it. Which she did say, I hate you for that. But I don't think she meant, I hate you, die. She meant, you breached my trust, and I hate you for that. Like, I don't know. She's this whole, like, you verbally assaulted me. Oh, my God. First of all, sit down. You're drone assaulting me. Like, the drone, just the constant, like, I have never had a friend who talked to me like, sit down, stop droning us.
So Taylor goes, I am done. I'm done. And Craig goes, well, this isn't unfixable. Hey, Craig. Hey, chicken. Yeah, this is your girlfriend calling. Just be quiet because I'm trying to hear the fight. Just be quiet. Shh, 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 shh.
Butter knife, meat drywall. Fixable.
So Taylor's like, I don't need to sit here getting verbally abused by someone. So she gets up and
literally did not verbally abuse you. And Vanita's like, when you sleep with somebody and then she doesn't, like, she sleep with someone and then she's the one who doesn't want to be verbally abused, like, what road do I live on? So then Whitney's like, Austin, go talk with her. And then Olivia's like, yeah, Austin, go have sex with her in an elevator and go solve it.
So Austin's just doing that like, I am looking at the sky right now. So then Olivia walks off and she's like, fucking clowns. So Vanita chases her. And then Craig's like,
Okay, so what I hear, like, Olivia wants to hear Taylor say, I fucked up because you shouldn't talk to your exes.
But instead she's saying, dude, I fucked up one time and it's not that big of a deal. Paige, did I do that correctly? Yeah, you did. You actually did a pretty good job with that. You're really growing. So Madison goes, well,
She hasn't said what actually happened yet.
and Vanita, so then Rod chimes in, and Rod's like, yeah, so I think Taylor was just trying to shut it down in the group. And Olivia took that as like, you should forgive me and we should all call it a day. But she was just trying to shut down the group. And that's why I think it was.
So he's like, yeah, I'm like, unless there's new info, we should squash it. And JT's like, you just sit there, Austin, you just sit there with these two fighting and you say nothing. And I mean, he did. He yelled, we didn't have sex. Like, how many times do you need to yell, we didn't have sex? It just keeps, Taylor just keeps making it worse. Just tell Taylor to just say sorry and just stop saying anything else. I think the reason Austin is not yelled at enough is because he just shuts up. It's like the guy knows when he's lost. He just like sits there. He's like, well, I'll let them do it.
He does shut up. But again, considering that he considers Taylor like one of his really good friends, he does a bad job of standing up for her. Right. So JT's like, Austin cannot say sorry, and there's always an excuse. Like, he's never in his own mind wrong. I think it's sociopathic to think as a human being you're not going to mess up. So Austin's like, hey man, I don't give a fuck about what you think about me, JT. You can literally go into the ocean and drown yourself. I don't even care. Won't take long. Just a few steps before a tiny little wave sweeps you out to sea, okay?
And JT's like, bro, you just watched two girls crying. You just sit there with your perfect little hair. I love JT's insecurities. Yeah. He cannot say one thing without ending it with some little insecurity. Look at you with your tall enough to ride rides. I think you're so great.
With your ability to stand in a little stream and not be knocked over.
Look at you able to sit at the Olive Garden without a booster chair. Whoa, whoopee!
Gosh, JT smells bullshit, and he's not afraid to call it out. And I certainly don't mind. I'm not going to stand in the way, unless it's my bullshit. But if it's Austin's bullshit, great!
And this is where Austin's taking center stage, too, in like the same place that Taylor was just taking center stage. And he's like, this is bullshit. You're a little clown, and it makes me laugh my ass off, man. Laugh my ass off. I'm not standing here for this. And he is standing there with his karaoke mic. And Shep's like, oh my God, JT's like Elliot Ness. And then this guy's like Al Capone.
Why are you doing this, JT? And when he's like, yeah, JT, like, why do you give a fuck? Mother. And JT's like, oh, my point is, it's his shitty behavior. You have no dignity and you're a snake, and I'm good. So Austin's like, yeah, oh, congratulations. You got Madison on your side, quite literally.
Yeah, that's right. I am on the side because he is a gentleman and he actually stands for people. Well, he tries to stand for people. Most people think he's just sitting for them, but we know he's on his feet.
And Austin's like, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard, Madison. I'm not sharing oxygen with JC. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. And then he just walks us. Now he stalks off the exact same trail everybody else just stopped. Just left on. And that brings us to the end of the trailer. So what happens for the rest of the episode?
Well, I'm going to say that when we come back from break, they're all going to be waking up in the morning and they're like, whoa, last night was like pretty crazy, right? And then like Austin and JT are going to like sort of like dap and JT be like, listen, I just had to get some steam off. It's like, yeah. And then Rod's going to be like sitting back a little bit in his chair being like, these guys, they just get like Austin just always gets off the hook. And then the girls will be awkward. And then we'll be back in Charleston and we'll see, we're going to see Patricia in bed, and Randy's going to come in and spill a martini on her lap, and she's going to slap him with a magazine. And then they're all going to go to a bar, and they're going to have some sort of strange party that's like it's like a Little Women party where they're going to celebrate Little Women or something.
Finally, it's like a bachelor for JT. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been super fun, and we hope you're having a great holiday. Thank you for being on Patreon. You know what? Those who aren't yet, thank you. And thank you for Southern Charm for being a good show. Thank you, Miami, for being a good show. Ben, thank you for being such a good friend and partner.
Thank you,
Sorry
too.
that this year ended with me yelling at you about Austin.
Oh, please. It's fine. I love you. I'm just happy that we are ending before midnight by 12 minutes. So everyone,
Not me. It's almost 2 a.m. over here, suckers.
You know what? I ain't no beta. I can take it.
Wow, look at you. You are strong. So yeah, you're up late, Ronnie. Good for you.
Love it.
Well,
This has been a long time. This felt great.
It felt so wonderful. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. Remember, we still have episodes next week, so give those a listen. And the Lifetime movie is on Lifetime, Diva's Christmas. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch, it's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.